Hello to the morning skate Saturday cast without Matt right now. I don't know where he is, but I said we get started. So we're going to get started tweeting this out briefly here, and we'll see who joins, see who gets in. I don't know where Matt is. He told me 2:15. I was like, let's do it at 1. Let's do it. We'll just get to lock and then we'll just do it. There he is. Okay, he's setting up. We're going to be live. We're going to be good to go. I just on time. Buffalo Sabres just claimed Tyson Yost. Matt, I'm not sure if you can hear me yet, so just let me know when you can.
I can. What's up? You can hear me?
Yeah, Sabres claimed Tyson Yost right as we're about to start. I can hear you. I can hear you. Sorry. Yes.
Yep. Cool.
I can hear you.
I did not see that. That's pretty cool though.
It just happened. Like legitimately. Yeah, what do you
I thought it came out at noon.
I thought is like it came out at what? I saw
the waivers. Yeah, no, I thought waivers was noon though, so I didn't know it was like after
maybe
noon.
Yeah, 12 minutes ago from Elliot Friedman official. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, I don't know. I'm not a firm believer in like, I don't think either of us are very big into like, the Sabres need to be tougher to play against and the hitting. And I know they're the lowest hitting team in the league and stuff like that. And I get it. I don't really think he's going to add much in that element. I was like trying to figure out like, do we just get another guy that's maybe since he's 24 a bit further along than some of the 20-year-olds we have that do the same thing? Kind of what it feels like to me. So it's like, it's a little odd because I don't know why you do it if you're the Sabres. Like, unless if you think, hey, like there's something here. We know there's something here. This is a guy that came into the league in 2019 and in 67 games at 23 points, 8 goals, and has done worse every year since. Like, I don't know.
He was a Denver guy, right? Denver University.
I believe so.
Because I'm pretty sure he was like awesome in college. And then just kind of
he was. I mean, he came into the league and it felt like this was going to be a guy for sure. And it's really not worked out. So yeah. I mean, I don't know. There's not that this show is going to be a
North Dakota. He was okay.
North Dakota.
Yeah,
something like that.
I don't know. But so yeah, I'm just reacting to it in real time too because I did not see that. I suppose if Zemgus is out long term, that's my guess. That seems like that's the that's the idea because I think is Quinn healthy now?
Yeah.
Anyway,
it's supposed to be in tonight. Yes.
With Girgensons and Okposo, it's kind of just one of those things where they probably just wanted a body, and I don't know, is Brett Murray still in the AHL or whatever? They're probably like it's kind of the same thing. Let's take a chance on a guy we haven't seen for a few weeks and a few months at this point.
I'll add one last note on the Sabres, and then we'll move on. I'm sure no one really cares, but yeah. I think that they've come back to where they should be. I mean, this is exactly what we expected. And I think a lot of people are saying, like I said from the beginning, they're just being on Sabres Twitter, being Threshing Buffalo, like they're like, where are these role players? Where are these guys that can play good defensive minutes? And it's like, we could have gone out and got those role players and we would maybe at best be where the Red Wings are, which is unsustainably barely like scraping near a wild card spot. And we don't have the goaltending, I think, to match them anyways. Like, what was the alternative here? The alternative is that we go out, we spend a bunch of cap, we don't let our young guys get in, we don't see what we have, just to, I guess, make fans feel better about being incredibly mediocre. So I'm fine with what the Sabres are doing. I don't really care about this move, but I'm very okay with being like 7th worst again for one more year and then going for it, then getting the things together.
Yep. No. Getting kind of this year is like the training wheels year. I feel like where it's like there's not really any expectations. So I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing to, basically make these guys sink or swim because you look around and there's basically Skinner and Okposo and everyone else is old as shit. So, they're our youngest shit. I mean,
they're the youngest team by far.
Yeah, so it's they're still fun to watch, even when they're not winning. It's still like they're they're not like this god awful, drag of a team, which to me is reason enough to have some interest. But I also know that clearly, since we're about to talk about DFS, like that's, not really like the fandom side of it just isn't the same as it was, say, 10 years ago for us, where, it was much more like live or die with their actual success rather than just like, oh, they're showing positive signs, which is cool. And not really worrying too much about the actual wins and losses. But I don't really know what you had planned for this. So
I think we just go game by game. We talk a little. Well, we're gonna go first, I guess, over the first game that we don't have. I mean, maybe a showdown note. I'm not mad. I didn't play showdown last night. I fired up a lineup that was going to be a Demko captain, but I didn't have Pedersen in it, and I just couldn't make it work, and I just gave up. I still would have cashed, I'm sure, because it would have worked out. I was just gonna fade the Pedersen Kuzmenko line and go with like Besser, and I think it would have cashed. But
I am.
Showdown is showdown. Whatever.
I am upset that I did play because it sucks when you put in a whole chunk of money and you get paid out some, but that sum is $3. Yes, on the whatever 1,000 something I had in, I got $3 back because in one of the 5-man Tuesday's 20 satellites, I finished in second and I bricked everything else. So it was almost worse than getting nothing back because I had to see like you won, blah, 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 when I woke up this morning.
I just felt like, and again, like I had some DMs, I had some people that were kind of like really Demko over 29.5. Like, you're going to do this to yourself again, but with Demko this time. And it's like, there was so much pointing to positive regression, in my opinion, that I just couldn't pass up the opportunity to take a team that I truly believe is underperforming their shot totals with a goalie that I thought should perform better. And then the first period happens. And I'm like, no, I was so wrong. And I mean, it worked out, but man, I really was about to like, I didn't even watch the second period. I look back and I'm like, I'm alive. But let's just get to the first game really quickly. If there's anything of note, I mean, the main, it's the narrative game. Oh,
yeah. Sorry, I was just gonna, because obviously this is on the early slate for DraftKings, so
yes,
spent some time looking into this. It does seem like we're getting Barkov back, which kind of makes things a bit less fun from an analysis perspective, because obviously there's just going to be Barkov on the top line, top power play. Calgary, we're projecting them to run Ruzicka still on that top line. However, last game, Ruzicka saw, I think, 12 minutes of time on ice, which is pretty clear they lost to Tampa. If this game goes south early for them, I'm pretty sure they just move Huberdeau back up to that top line, and we sort of lose, we throw the chains back on Toffoli and Lindholm by saying, Huberdeau just, whatever. We all know my feelings on Jonathan Huberdeau at this point. He's a bit overrated for what he actually brings, in my personal opinion. But interestingly, we also could see a line of Kadri, Mangiapane, and Dylan Dubé. That's what we saw in morning skate today, which was an optional skate. But I'm not seeing people like project that or anything. So maybe anytime goal on Dylan Dubé could be worthwhile, just as a little shekel. But we should be able to get that in an hour, and I doubt DraftKings would move the line significantly or anything if you're betting on something like that. But that's the one thing I'm looking for in warmups.
They haven't really moved much of anything. I mean, this was last game for the Flames. They got pumped by Tampa, which is what it is. So I mean, they're going to make a change here or there. I agree with Huberdeau. I get it though. I mean, he did lead them a nice time last game. It's over 1.5 shots, as I kind of already had pulled up. It's not like he is over. This is just the last 5 games right now. It's not like he's blowing the doors off with a whopping 4 shot attempts per game. He only played 2. I don't know why. Did he get hurt? What happened?
Yeah. Remember he was hurt.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And then he came back and was like 5. Okay. Yeah. So I think it's fine. He's like the safer, I guess, ish play, and his line mates were expecting to be, I assume, the same. I don't think this line is.
Right now we would guess it's Backlund and
Lewis.
Yeah, Trevor Lewis.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just from a betting perspective on this game, I think if you're looking safe, I don't think it's ever safe to take Huberdeau, but over 1.5 feels, I don't know. Okay. I'm not going to the truck here. This is way too much. I get it. Again, narrative game, whatever you want to say. If it was closer to the, a plus money-ish range, I'd consider it. Other than that, this is, I think, incredibly thin to bet on. These are two teams that I feel like are pretty good Corsi teams, or should be. Florida, top number one in Corsi for per 60 at 5-on-5. The Flames are not quite as good defense. No, they're fifth Corsi against per 60 at 5-on-5. So it's kind of, it's a bit of a immovable object. You'd say pretty good for us, but I still think this game should be decently event. I'm not really, I don't see a ton of edge here in any bets. I don't think the DFS slate offers immense value either anywhere. It's really hard to stack the Flames. They're not even on the main slate, so I'm not that focused on it. So we can move on. I think that for safety, I don't hate Huberdeau. I think it's still kind of stupid. Yeah. The one bet that I took for a parlay was the Reinhart over on points.
Sure.
It's just not price right.
I mean, the on ice stuff for Reinhart is actually laughable. I think he's at 2%, 2% on ice shooting percentage at 5-on-5 in the last 10 games. Just completely ridiculous stuff. It's not like he's in a crazy good spot in terms of like generation or anything else, but just, the power play and the fact that like he's just getting severely unlucky at 5-on-5 with some decent looking numbers. Very, very much so. They're underestimating his point prop there, I think. Do we have a YouTube link for this, or is it just like the
Twitter YouTube link? Oh, great! I didn't post it anywhere. Whoops! I will post it. Hold on.
Okay. Not that it's a huge deal, but I just posted it in the Discord and noticed it was a Twitter only thing. Which, can you leave comments on Twitter? I actually don't know.
No, you can't. This is the YouTube link. I just put it in the comments. Although I'll tweet it too. But yeah, no, it's anyway, I've showed up on the screen. Reinhart led them in minutes, 22. Like he's just so involved on the offense, and if Barkov's out or in, I don't think it really affects his point prop a ton either.
Yeah, way. I mean, it's so one. I'm totally expecting Barkov to play. They were talking yesterday like he was. Even Huberdeau said like, oh, can't wait to line up across from him or whatever. Hope he passes it to me, which funny joke. But if like I'm guessing, they would know if he was going to miss this game, and at this point, it does not seem that way. But if he did, for some reason, they don't have a 12th guy to play at forward, I don't think, because they carry 20 skaters due to the cap situation. So that's why all these minutes are so high. Like I would not expect Bennett or Lindell or Reinhart to be above 20 minutes if Barkov plays. But I don't think that's worth, it's not like you're cutting down on your expectation for them or anything. It's just slightly less than that.
And the reason I think we can
move on.
Okay, yeah, sorry. Yeah, we can move on. I'm just going to say the reason I go to the point is because I get like people might say, well, the assist seems pretty good, but net front on the power play plus, like you said, the shooting percentage being like unsustainably low. I'm totally down. So we can move over and kind of do a little back and forth between the DraftKings slate and the bets. Chicago-Boston is the first game. I don't think we have to spend an exorbitant amount of time on DraftKings in general, because if you play this stack, you play this stack, and if you don't, you don't. I can't imagine paying $6,500 for DeBrusk, not with Bergeron and Pastrnak or Pastrnak or Marchand. I know he's been fine. Taylor Hall last game kind of had like a bit of a peak in shots. I noticed his last 5 has been really weak for generating a ton of shots, but it was against Philly. Now it's against Chicago. So the matchup feels juicy for shots to exist in this game. I think you could go a number of ways. I pretty much refuse to bet a 4.5 at minus money. That just seems like an incredibly bad bet in general. I'd rather just go with a Marchand with big plus money for 3.5, although I think Bergeron's even safer. And if you want ultimate safety, and I know it didn't work last time, but minus 185 for Bergeron to get a point. It should have hit last game. I mean, it just didn't hit. It's going to happen. We're going to run into those situations where you get a guy that's on the ice for 3 goals and he doesn't get a point. It is what it is. We can't do much about it. That they absolutely dominated at 5-on-5. He's out there for the power play goal. I guess he was only on the ice for 1 goal. I thought he was out for 2, but whatever.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much I love Marchand's shot prop playing with Bergeron and Pastrnak. Like, what? Yeah, it just kind of feels like this line's good enough to know where their bread is buttered, and I don't think it's with Marchand shooting. That's one thing. Like I kind of feel like I would almost lean toward Bergeron at slightly lower odds.
But I'm trying to think. Yeah, it
like
really
Pasta's just been on a different planet. Like
right. Hold on, I could pull that up actually over the last 5 for them. 2 seconds. Boston
93 shot attempts and 10
for the line. Oh, for him in general.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Jesus. Yeah. It's not the epitome of safe, but it might my assumption here is all 3 of them have a good chance to get there. One of them, maybe 2 of them don't. I kind of just like the plus money, honestly. But it's what we're talking 1 attempt per game on average. It's probably enough to make, like I said, Bergeron a bit safer, but I think you go either way here. You can't bet that 4.5. That just feels terrible. That feels terrible. And I know it's Pasternak, who pull it back up again, is on another level, almost doubling them. And I get that, but it is, to me, it's a very, very tough bet to place 4.5 minus 130. I just don't think you do it. I think if you're going to do that, just go to an underdog, go to one of those sites where it is the same bet and you can parlay it at a better kind of price point.
Yeah, I'm sure you can do that. And I also think, like a Patrick Kane point prop or something like an underdog would correlate well with Pasta going over, just because if they need to score, like that's sort of where Pasta is.
Do they have it? There's no way they're not offering that. Minus 175.
On underdog?
Patrick Kane for a point.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, I'm saying they're not. If you could, but they're not going to offer it.
Yeah, sure.
I struggle to want to bet anything on this side of the old Blackhawks. So
yeah, one thing, on the Hawks though, they are using Philip Roos on their top unit. So if you like power play 1 defenseman for $3K, Caleb Jones is a scratch. He's been absolutely horrible. So
yeah, he's been.
Roos is in, and Ian Mitchell looks like he's picking up second power play work. And Ian Mitchell was a guy who was around last year. It's probably too thin, but he's 2,500. Full
I don't know why we're for DFS. Let's just go to the goods here. Let's just take a look over the last 5. I know I can't figure out what the other team is that isn't playing tonight. I just couldn't even tell you. So I know Vancouver is playing, but Caleb Jones out, Roos 3 attempts per game. Mitchell doesn't even show up.
He hasn't played this year.
He hasn't played. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. This is why in a matchup against the Bruins, it is so hard to feel good about any shot prop. Not a single player over 5 attempts per game. And now they go against Boston, who I thought originally the model might like the Blackhawks as a potential bet, but it actually, even at 3 plus 340, thinks it's a bad play. And yeah, no, thank you. It's just this is the DraftKings projection for shots for the entire Blackhawks team. You just can't look at a shot prop and feel good about it. I get it that you would think that even Taves could be somewhat safe, but I'd almost rather just go the under on him and assume regression goes that way. But let's move over to Buffalo and Toronto. This game, in my opinion, we don't need to take long on the betting side. I think we could take longer on DFS because I really don't know if there's a bet I like quite as much as Nylander for shots. I think that minus 155 is just not. It might be closer to correct than I think it is, but I just think that this is a very juicy matchup for the Toronto Maple Leafs in general to get a good number of shots against the Sabres. Yeah, I get it. 6 attempts per game-ish over the last 5, but he is, it's not like his rates over the entire season are much worse. I bet they're even maybe right around the same. This is a guy that's going to put 5-6 attempts at the goalie. He's very likely, in my opinion, to put even more in this matchup against Buffalo, who I just don't think is very good defensively. And, you just need 3 here. And minus 155, there's a few of these guys like this that I think are just very good bets at that odds. So I don't try to think what the implied odds are on that, but I do like it. Tavares is probably the other, but like I said, I just think I like Nylander a little bit more.
With Buffalo getting, I guess, Samuelson back, I don't know, ownership in this game I think is going to be crazy, which is the only thing. It's
that's is there any bets or you just want to get to the DFS?
I don't know that I've looked at the bets.
It's tough because every single good Maple Leaf is 1.5, except for Tavares and Nylander are minus 200. It's what's even the freaking point? That
are we trying to like get a bunting goal or something? I don't know. Like
you could go. That's the way you go here. And even he's like 235, which is fine, I guess, but I don't freaking know. It's the betting here, like I said, it's pretty rail thin overall. And then you get to the shot props and you're like, the only tangible way this fails you miserably on the shots is if Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen just gets shelled. And he's been fine in the NHL. He's been fine in the AHL. Let's just get to the DFS.
I figured it out. Like Arizona is the other team not playing today. That was bugging me this entire time.
It was bugging me too, honestly, and I gave up. I just gave up. Okay, I'm gonna omit them so I don't when I go back to the
just in case we get some Arizona guys pop.
I was because they always pop up. It's like you got. Okay.
Yeah. So
this game from a DFS perspective, go.
Yeah, I mean, so pretty quickly you'll see that Tage Thompson and Austin Matthews are really expensive. Otherwise, I guess it's Dahlin, and then basically no one else is like cost prohibitive. Even John Tavares has come back down to 6,300. He was $7K just a week ago. So there's going to be a ton of interest, I think, on frankly both sides. I think in this game, given the Skinner and Tuck prices are pretty low, and people still play teams against Toronto. And I just don't have a ton of interest in that. Buffalo, despite their goaltending leaks, have been really sound defensively. Like they're, in the upper half of the league in terms of like expected goals defensively. And it's just been, piss poor goaltending that's, sunk them. So, yeah, obviously, Luukkonen's a bit untested, but, he should be fine. And I usually don't try to play goalie too much into my process here. And especially with him being this cheap, any Toronto fan would tell you that Buffalo seems to, I think Buffalo has a winning record over Toronto in the last 5 years, despite Buffalo being really bad and Toronto being really good. So it's just one of those things where none of it really lines up to me to have a ton of interest from a DFS perspective. I'm seeing, I think Matthews could crack 30%. Which is this isn't the Kyle Connor situation where it's this guy allows you so much flexibility to stretch your lineup. You play Austin Matthews, there's a lot that you can't do as a result. So I'm sort of betting against this game in general. I don't think there's anything on the Sabres side that I want to talk about though, unless you're trying to punt a D-man with, Samuelson or Yoki Haru.
No interest in punting Jack Quinn praying for PP1 in his return.
No.
Okay. It's fair enough. I mean, I get it, but I don't think we know about Power Play 1, but he was with that second line, which was I could just pull it up. It'll take 3 seconds. I believe it was him with Cousins, which was interesting. It's kind of it's like I said from the beginning. I know not too many people were here, but they pick up Tyson Yost or whatever, and to me, it's okay. What is this team? This team should be trying to show off the talent that exists or try to figure out what talent can move forward with this team.
Expected goals wise, I mean, they're literally Toronto is the best team in the league.
Toronto,
they're just better. Really good. And
Quinn, Cousins, Paterka, I thought, okay, took me that long to find, but I agree. I have very little because you're getting at, I think if you're playing Toronto here in DFS, you need Buffalo to score goals, and I really don't trust it. So we can move on. I think this game, like I said, Nylander is my favorite bet. I get Tavares at a similar price. Other than that, I'm not all that interested. You could look at a Sabres prop, but I really don't think that they're all that interesting either. Nothing screams off the page, in my opinion. Maybe Thompson's fine, but I don't know, man. We could move over.
Grab an under on the Sabre point props. That's probably your best bet, frankly.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Honestly, I mean, but
is there anyone that stands?
No, because none of them are. I mean, Thompson's minus 165 for over. None of them are even. Maybe you go Olofsson. I don't third line minus 150 is probably safe.
Yeah, there's an outside chance that he's top power play though. Middle stat. Let's say middle stat. He's probably the guy who the minutes probably aren't great for him. I don't think there's a path to power play 1. So if I had to gun to head, that's probably what I'm doing.
It's Olofsson and Krebs with Middlestad.
I
guess I think, like I said, I think Nylander over on shots is totally fine. Just need UPL to be fine, and he's not in limited run in the AHL this year. He's about 900, but he's been really good this. They'd won like 6-3 for the Amherst. So let's move on. Philly and Montreal, the big breaking news, Konechny not going to play. That, right away cripples any chance of the Flyers probably scoring too many goals here. With Konechny out, I don't know what that's going to do. It's probably going to move Tippett back up to the first line, but they didn't really say too much, I don't believe. Last game, he got hurt against Boston. Let's just maybe we'll see.
Yeah, so we have a projected lineup with Tippett, Hayes, and Farabee from Summerman. He's pretty good for them. I'm not sure how concrete that is, but Tippett's definitely the guy, I think, from a betting perspective here. Caulfield is obviously priced up in both terms of betting and in terms of DFS. So like I don't have a ton else. I know Matheson is back, but I don't know whether they ran power plays this morning or not with Matheson in the fold. But Philly's not the team that I'm going to take a guy who could get you the blocks bonus. It's like, sure, he could do well, but like I think Matheson's better in a matchup against like, Carolina or whatever, where like, there's that power play upside and there's the chance that he gets literally like, hit 8 blocks or something crazy.
The things I put on the market for myself for bets, I believe, was Kirby Dach for a point because he has been very, very involved in the Montreal offense. The one thing that I didn't grab yet, and I wanted to see if we saw anything that made this feel more concrete, but it was like Hoffman, Dach, Monahan, Caulfield, Suzuki. I know there's been some defense rumors and murmurs about what's going to happen there. Matheson, like I think he's going to make his he's supposed to make his debut.
Yeah,
which does. So is he power play 1?
We don't know.
We don't. We don't have right. Okay. So. Yeah, so that was kind of the thing I was going to mention. Where originally I was like, "Ooh, this Hoffman anytime power play point might be fine," and then I'm like, oh, "My God, he's just going to be on the second unit."
Get the Wookiee up on the screen.
Oh, I know. I have mine. It's supposed to be in the shot.
Look at this bad boy.
Right behind me. I thought it'd be in the shot.
Yeah, we
okay.
if
right here, it's supposed to be in the shot.
I'll be reaching out to the 3 qualifiers for the Wookiee Week final on Monday. But yeah, that's something that
there we go.
Again, just if you were paying attention to the Moinscape pod this week, you'll know about Wookiee Week. But Wookiee is the GOAT, and this stuff looks clean. So, shout out Wookiee. Let's get it on a Saturday. Okay, let's keep moving through stuff.
Last thing. Let me just take a peek here. Did Konechny go down and Philly get a power play? It was Cates. If you want to get really crazy, Noah Cates, where was he? I think here. Konechny went down and Cates came in on that first unit.
I see.
Plus 400 enough? Is that enough to make it move? Is that? I mean, it's tough because it could have just been a literal I don't know this guy, but wait.
I'm just looking for the first power play afterward. The first power play afterward.
Farabee too. Farabee and Cates. It was Hayes, Cates, Tippett, D'Angelo, Farabee. Although Frost actually was out there for the goal. So
that's what I'm checking just to make sure. Yeah, it does look like Frost was. He came out like sort of midway through, I think, is what happened there. So I don't think Frost is really the guy there. You're probably right in that it's Noah Cates.
Okay. I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna leave it on this for now. I don't know if I'm actually gonna put real US dollars on it or Canadian dollars if I had any. But it does exist as a plus 400 power play point, which is
that does not seem good enough. Just take Tippett at plus 300. My God.
Yeah, Tippett's much more involved. That's fair. Okay. I'm just trying to, just keep some things in mind. I just want to keep that one.
Yeah.
I think that, and then the only other thing that I gave an extra look at was one of the shot props. Oh my God, I'm losing my mind. I don't even know anymore. Oh, I think I just put the Canadians to win this game. It's minus 135. It barely moved with the Konechny news. It was 130, I think at best, 135. So okay, we can move on. And DFS, we can talk DFS. Matheson, like I said, 4,200. A little bit of a risk that It's his first game back, and we don't know about power play run, but he's good to go. I can't imagine if you watch that Montreal game versus Columbus. I mean, they were falling over the blue line, letting it odd man rushes go. I can't imagine they're not going to include him in a high capacity with how bad this defense has been. So he seems fine in any sort of stacking situation. Kirby Dach, though, I think if you're going with Caulfield, et cetera, like you just got to put this guy in 15 points in 17 games. I don't really understand why he's so much more of a value versus line mates. He gets all the same run. He just seems good. He's a young player. I think this is just a good renaissance, kind of like a Velarde this year, where these guys are just, the books are never going to catch up to just how involved they are offensively. And I think with Caulfield, like Suzuki is almost prohibitively priced with how little he shoots, that his upside really has to come through points. And you're kind of praying that he gets there with, his skill alone. I would be hard pressed not to include a guy like Daco with either, with both. And if Caulfield isn't in that first line stack, what are you even doing?
Yeah. Nope, fully agree. I think it's top line or bust, especially with Matheson potentially stealing power play time from a guy like Hoffman. And I don't think you can one-off Monahan or anything and feel great about it. So
no. Josh Anderson was the only other guy that in the last 5 was shooting a ton, but it's third line. It's no power play one. I don't know. We can move on. Philly, like we said, it's kind of Tippett's a good value if you want to bring back or whatever. Like this guy does have really high upside, but this Philly team just absolutely sucks. So
yeah, we've talked about it though. This week though, Tippett's minutes 20-19-19. So Tippett's not a risk, I think, anymore. He's pretty much ingrained as like a regular.
I think
player.
It's a good cash. So. Yeah, I think it's a good cash play. I think it's a really good cash play. I just think in GPPs, it's like, what upside are you getting from Philadelphia? It's tough for me to see any
guy with two goal and 5 shot upside for that price, I think is very much in play as a one-off in tournaments, which we'll see. I'm not sure that I'll need to do that. But I'm strongly considering it at this point, just given I don't see a ton of great value.
Montreal Corsi against at 5-on-5 doesn't look egregiously bad. Yeah, they're 20th. So that means they're like they've been fine. I guess they're kind of a bit more like Winnipeg last year, where it wasn't it was volume at times, but it was the chances they're giving up are bad. They're giving up very high danger chances, and you just can't continue. Which again, if Tippett gets 2 goals, you're freaking swimming. So we can move over though. Colorado and Washington. This game is, I don't know. I mean, Colorado, I think, is kind of back to being good, right? They beat Carolina twice, back I think it was there back to back for them? I don't even know. But they've been really good. I think they've just quietly been very good.
And they're doing it in like a very. I mean, they got caved in by Carolina. They've been a little uncharacteristic in their general possession numbers and stuff. I don't think Washington's a team that's necessarily going to put the boots to Colorado or anything like that. But it really does, like, it does make me wonder how interested I am in paying, $10K for McKinnon, almost $9K for Rantanen.
Uninterested.
Yeah, like it's just the thing where they're getting almost all of their production through the power play right now, which, if you're Colorado, like, and you have McKinnon and McCarr and Rantanen, like, you should expect to score a bunch of power play goals. But their production otherwise has been really kind of mediocre. So I don't think there's going to be a ton of value in the Colorado side of things. And Washington is just so focal, or they're so centralized around, John Carlson and Alex Ovechkin that, like, are you really trying to dip down to like a Kuznetsov, upside game or something? I'm not too sure. So let's see. What are you looking at here?
9 attempts per game over the last 4.
Carlson's come back and he's been absolutely on fire. We kind of missed the boat against St. Louis. I'm tilting that still from Thursday, but this is another matchup where they should be basically unowned, and Ovi's mad cheap, and Carlson's not very expensive at all. So
yeah,
that's basically
totally agree. I mean,
my summary here.
like I was saying, there's some really good minus 150 kind of 2.5 values. And I think this is one of them. I'm not that afraid. Like you said, I started by saying Colorado, 5 of the last 6 wins. And you're like, and they should not have won those games. It's like, yeah, they're giving up quite a few shots.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that they shouldn't have won. It's just that the way they're winning isn't necessarily conducive. Like last year, where it was like, oh, Colorado's winning all these games. They're scoring 7 goals. They're getting 50 shots on goal. Like, they're really running over teams, and that's just not happening this year. They're getting there, through the power play, and it's just a little thinner, I think, to stack Colorado and expect to have all these guys pay off their salaries.
Yeah, we got really lucky with the Lehkonen point prop last game. He got it in overtime in the win. Or wait, he didn't get it in overtime because they lost. Wait, they won that game. What the? All right, this is just wrong. They won that 3-2 in OT. Yeah.
Wait, that's weird.
Okay, so switch these scores. Switch these scores. I was like, hold on. I just thought I saw a ghost. Anyways, though, yeah. So Rodriguez on the first power play as well. We should probably mention. I thought Lehkonen got the assist there. He poked the puck away. It looked like, and they just ruled it a turnover, which it kind of was. But the point I make is that Lehkonen, all the ice time really in the world, and power play 1. So I think if you're looking for bets here, I don't think you stray too far from just Lehkonen over on a point, John Carlson over on shots, one or the other. If you're looking for an under, I keep wanting to bet Rodriguez under, but he just kind of right now has too big of a role. And I think until Landeskog returns, I'm just going to kind of avoid it. I bet it before to my success, but as I just showed, if I can find the tab, he actually is getting 18 minutes power play 1 right now. And it's just kind of tough to bet. He's not down getting about 13, 14 minutes anymore. So
as a general rule, due to her involved in both the power play and the penalty kill, it's really tough to sort of script them out. And so it's just one of those things where in general, I try to go for guys with a bit more fragile usage if I'm, betting on an under.
Yeah.
Because
100%.
It's tough.
And this game just doesn't offer you any of those. I feel like maybe Mantha, but come on, it's 1.5. It's so hard to click that button. They're really not giving you a ton of just clear value. Maybe a guy like Johansson or something is similar to a Middlestad under type of bet. But we can go back to the DFS quickly. I think you already mainly covered it. But it's sort of like, are you paying up or not in this game? I think I'm just not going to pay up for anything and move on. But if I was paying in this game, it's just going to be Ovechkin and Carlson, which I think they're
Kuzi's. I mean,
not so high.
Kuzi's on a run. I don't think his ownership really reflects that, given a matchup with Colorado. Yeah. But I'm not the sort of guy who wants to ride the Kuznetsov roller coaster. I'll wait for him to fall in price. I'll wait for him to fall in ownership in a good matchup to sort of jump on board, because he can always sink you without sinking Ovi and Carlson necessarily, just given his his hit or miss nature in terms of shot production. So. Detroit, Columbus, you ready?
Columbus. Yep, I was just kind of pulling it up as we went. Columbus did practice. I know Emil Benstrom did not get their last game and did not play in the third period, but he should be back on that first line. I get
he didn't play in the third, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He just didn't play. Yeah, he didn't have a single shift in the third period. It is what it is. I'm not gonna cry about it.
Did we get coach speak on that, because he was hurt? Remember, he was
I don't know if we saw anything. He just didn't play in the third, and they dropped it to 165 for 1.5, and it just feels so good. But I really think that Larkin for 2.5 is just as good of a bet. Columbus is officially the worst team 5-on-5 at Corsi against per 60. Larkin is shooting a ton right now. I mean, it's like you could go to Bertuzzi, you could go to Larkin, but I know, Matt, you're not a big Larkin guy.
Yeah. Can I just share my screen real quick? I don't know if I've ever seen a expected goal output this poor. Let me see. Let's see. How do I? Okay. I'm clicking. Go.
Yep. I just got to edit now, and you're good.
Okay, so
we're in a vortex. There we go.
Here,
you zoom in. It's a little hard to see.
Here's the sheet. If you're new here, basically this is putting together like team opponent and then sort of lining up their expected goals and expected goals against, in addition to Corsi and whatnot. But basically, this is positive numbers means you're doing well. Positive numbers means you're giving up a ton. So you see, like St. Louis is at the top because Anaheim, whatever. Scroll down, Detroit, Columbus is terrible. They're not good. I think they are. Let's see. They're 7th worst right now defensively. But this -1, I swear I've never seen a number beyond 1. Like Detroit is just not generating anything. It's actually like scary how piss poor they've been. So it's something where like I tend to ascribe to just like the fact that Detroit's terrible. It's not even like they're outscoring their problems either. They're still a big negative here in their goals for too. So with that in mind, I think I'm just pretty much out on Detroit. The one thing we saw last game that I liked was that Berggren was on the top line, but that did not last long. So
no,
I'm not sure that you need to do it on a 13-game slate. But this game just feels like death, like all over to me. Neither team really profiles that well.
I hear you, and I hear you on that. It's just, well, but first off, we don't know what Detroit's lines are going to be for sure. They switched them in that game against San Jose. Hold on, let me share my screen now and pull up the reason why I think Larkin is still fine. Number one is, again, they changed their lines. They went to Perron, Larkin, Kubalik, and you might be saying, man, they've been bad at generating goals, but this line looked pretty good together. And if you look at who the player was that was driving the bus, it was just Larkin. And it seems like they may have started to realize that they really need to rely on him to drive the bus. And like I know you say, and this is why he's not going to drive the bus.
I'm getting off that bus. If he's driving my bus, I'm done. I ain't getting nowhere. So
I get that. I totally get that. But this highway, if you will, if we're going to stay on this metaphor for way too long, is going against a defense, if you will, if we can call it that,
if you will, yeah,
that is playing Branson 26 minutes. So you have to get in, and like it's like okay, like everything that you said is right, but Larkin is the only player generating offense. They're going to rely on him in every offensive situation possible because of it, and he's not good enough. Meaning they won't score the goals, but they will produce the shots. And there is a black hole called the Columbus Blue Jackets defense that is so bad that I have to take a shot prop in this game. Both of these teams profile very well for this and have tempo. It's just they don't produce goals. So it's a perfect storm for shot props. Did that make sense? That was pretty cogent.
That's your belief.
So you would not in a parlay consider
show me some of these. Let's look them over now. Now that we set the stage.
Let me zoom in a little bit more just to make it even easier for you. I mean, it's Larkin -155. Perron is I probably just as good at -110. It's like equidistantly across those implied odds. I think those are pretty similar. You get huge plus money on Mo Seider, who has not been good. I mean, it's really tough to take, but but again, like he should be hitting more.
Is there a power play? Sorry, is there a power play point prop for Filip Hronek?
Ooh, yes, plus
I like
425.
He flipped with Seider on the top power play last game. Hronek's looked awesome for the last stretch.
But then again, games. We also have Bemstrom plus 425.
Oh God! At least for Bemstrom, the shot prop on Bemstrom is really good. I mean, if Berggren were 800 or so, I think that would be more compelling. But so the thing with Bemstrom. Oh, sorry.
Ken Johnson was in the first power play too.
Yeah. Weird. Yep. He's been there the last 2 games. So, it's So like Roslovic technically could have stuck it. Actually, Roslovic.
Yeah, he didn't. He's not playing. I know. Yeah, he's sick or something.
So
I just look at because Berggren was with Raymond, Bertuzzi, Kopp, Hronek, and then Hronek. So Hronek switched. I'm just thinking like, are these power plays that much different? You know what I mean?
I mean they're not, but I think Hronek's better than Seider, so that's why I'm perfectly like. If Detroit's going to produce, I think it's going to be on the power play, and I pick Hronek for plus 425 over Seider. If you're saying like 1A, 1B, and Hronik seemingly could be of the 1As, and I think it's just better, more involved offensively. So,
does it show power play? I was wondering if they showed who they started.
Look, so look at, you see it in the middle here. There's like these bars. It's 5-on-4, 4v5.
Oh, okay, yeah. So the red.
So if you track it up, if you track up from the beginning, you can see sort of where.
So we want this. No, we want this.
No, we want the purple. So
we want the purple.
So purple. We see basically. That. So
okay.
Look down from the 5v4. We see it was Cider.
And
then
so they are truly the second.
It was
unit.
Hronik.
Okay. So the second unit is, because I'm just looking at is it Berggren or is it Berggren?
Good question.
Good question. Because I just see plus 600 and I see a guy playing on a power play with Bertuzzi and Raymond, and I'm like,
he's good, but like, I don't know. I'd rather take a focal point not focal point, a guy who's more likely to be have a chance to get 70% of the power play time in Hronik or Bemstrom. But I also think Bemstrom's shot prop is good. It's not like one game should radically change our priors. And
no.
I think last game could have been an injury thing, but if he's back, I don't have a problem with the shot prop there either. So
other than that, pretty good to move on. I just think that there's so many plus money bets in this game, and it does to me feel like a game that could have. What does your sheet say for like the Corsi index for this? Is it not high?
Similarly bad, yeah. I mean, these two teams have just
really
dog shit.
That's surprising. I just feel like it's just expected goals, though. It's not like the volume. I don't know.
Let's see.
They're both so bad defensively, though, that I thought maybe.
Yeah, that's where they're middle of the
That's
pack.
The thing. It's
like whatever.
Okay. So it's kind of like the opposite of like the Florida game, where it's like there's really good and really good. And it's just like there's so bad and so bad for so bad and so bad. Okay, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, pretty much. So in DFS, I'm really only interested in Phil Hronik. He's 3,800. I think that's a really good price. And then Bemstrom is fine, but I think Tippett's just a better play since we don't have the question mark of time on ice really with Tippett that we do for Bemstrom at similar prices.
What would it take to make you play Eric Branson? How many beers?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking through his stuff, and even the last like 2 games where he's been playing 25 minutes, he has a total of 4 shots plus blocks. So I don't know. He's not a guy.
And I'm guessing you're just not going to go with Marcus Bjork first power play because there's better options. Fair enough.
Yep.
All right, we have taken quite a bit of time, but I do think that we hit on 2 or 3 of the most interesting games. So we can go to Pittsburgh and Winnipeg now. This is a game that I really don't feel like there's many, if any, like very good props, like good straight bets. So I'm not going to go into great detail on any of it. I think that people are going to chase a lot of the Dubois stuff, which I think is fine, but he's getting priced to a point where I don't really love it at all. And I think this game could have goals in it. I'm also not seeing much of an edge on the goalies. I'm not seeing much of it. Like, I think both of these unders are almost in play for me, but I struggle to bet them. I don't know if there's any point prop that I'm in love with. So I go back to shots.
Point prop is interesting. Sorry. The Raquel point prop is interesting at even money. That should be the case where he's skating with Crosby and Gensel. Let's see. I don't think that has changed since last game.
No.
And regardless though, he'll play in the top 6. He's just a good player. So it's not crazy or anything, but I think relative to plus or minus 200 on Sid or whatever.
I bet the Kyle Connor shot prop, which my God, it makes me so nervous. I clicked on it, I did it, it's in my bet. But then if I'm doing any smaller ones, I'm just not betting anything. I really don't trust. I feel like I should trust Kyle Connor over 3.5 way more than I do. Because Pittsburgh has not been good defensively. The sportsbooks are saying they're going to have about 30 shots, right around that range. And he has 6, almost 7 shot attempts per game. Though it's last, everything leads it to being okay. And it's so hard to click on. But I do think it's fine in this game. But is there anything safe here? I don't think there is. Nothing feels safe. So I think in a big parlay, I have to do it because I'm a degenerate. If you are fading a game, I would just fade this one, or I think the Raquel prop makes sense in a smaller type of portfolio.
Yeah, I think I would go with Raquel personally, just trying to take advantage of the new role or whatever. But otherwise, Chris Letang,
honestly,
I think his numbers are fine with as far as both the point and the shots on goal. He's actually been their leading like shot taker over the last 10 games for Pittsburgh. So that's like the one side, because I want to be over on Pittsburgh. I think from a DFS perspective, just poking around some ownership and stuff. For some reason, Winnipeg's coming in high, which I think is just because Kyle Connor's still sub 7K, but it's not like as crazy a value as 6K against freaking Anaheim. And so I think some remnants of that will carry over DFS wise into that.
Am I crazy to think the under?
A little.
Am I crazy? I think I feel like it's so likely to be a coin flip. Honestly, that might not be worth it. I like Winnipeg a touch, but not even. Nothing feels good in this game. That's the best way to play it.
You're just betting.
I'm also just not that.
Yeah, you're betting on Hellebuck doing a lot from the under. I think is just not
I agree.
But I mean, we're looking 100%. At Sid
Gensel.
Yeah, we're looking at Sid and Gensel. I mean, they're only a combined 14K. Add in a Rust or Raquel, and you're not paying much at all for a stack that has a ton of upside. They just flashed it against freaking Minnesota, and they seem to be going underowned, which is weird to me. If you're playing Winnipeg, I think you want Pittsburgh, to at least consider them if it's the stack or just a Letang one-off, because he himself is also very cheap. So I think my night's going to come down to Pittsburgh, frankly.
That's fair. Yeah. This is probably one of the highest Vegas implied shot totals for a team. And I still can't really find the right, since I'm saying that, let me at least pull up Pittsburgh to see over the last 5 if there's been anyone.
It's going to show you
Gensel, but don't tell me something I don't want to hear. Yeah. Well, not even Gensel.
Zucker.
Yes, okay. It's Letang, Zucker too. I don't even know if they're offered. Let's just take one look at those two, but
Letang's 120.
Okay. Let's move forward with it. I'm going to go forward with it. It's fun.
Okay.
Fun times. Okay. Let's move. We got DraftKings says, Anaheim St. Louis. So Tarasenko's out. The big first piece of news. He is sick. That moves up, I believe, minimum salary.
Toropchenko.
I did. I don't know if I clicked the bet yet, but I don't hate the idea of a goal bet on Toropchenko.
God.
Is it really that? Hold on, let me pull it up. I want to check. I want to check all the odds too, but it's, I believe, 450.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. Just take Torrey Krug, man. Toropchenko is just not a. He's just not he's not a player in the way that he's getting promoted. He's just a guy, and he's not even a good type of guy. He's a guy that gets there defensively, and they love him for his defense. It was just this team's a mess, man. I feel like you just
look I'm okay not taking it for sure. I'm totally no, you're not.
If you really think Toropchenko is going to score, just jam the Robert Thomas shot prop, or not shot prop, the point prop. How else is Toropchenko scoring other than being fed a perfect pass? I don't know. It's just not worth the slightly elevated odds.
Am I blind? Where'd he go? Oh, I put him in my lineup. I am blind. Yeah, wow. There's a 6 spot and then 2 zeros in no minutes. So it's maybe when the roll's there, he'll shoot a little, but it is boom or bust. It is 0 or 6 for our boy Alexei Toropchenko. Yeah, I'm just saying it exists.
not
your boy, my boy.
Oh, okay.
No, so does this boost a guy does this make you feel better about a guy like Kyrou then? Or probably Buchnevich even more. Buchnevich, who I've been banging the drum on at plus 150 for the over on the shots. He hit against Boston, and then I didn't take it for a while. Then he miss hit. Now at plus 105, I did put him in a parlay because I do have him higher. I also put Kyrou for 4 in a parlay because I think the direct, the situation that exists here is that both Kyrou and Buchnevich get more minutes, in my opinion, more offensive zone starts and whatnot because of Tarasenko being out. So I think I'm fine with either of them, and I'm not really looking at anyone else for an over.
Yeah, I mean, I'm poking holes in Toropchenko or whatever, but frankly, it's not that big a deal. If you want to do Toropchenko, I mean, Anaheim's terrible. Like,
that's the thing.
Anyone you pick is honestly a fine bet. It's just that, St. Louis does not have a focal point line, especially now without Tarasenko. You can't even pretend they do. And, it could literally be spread across 3 lines with O'Reilly, Kyrou, and Thomas sort of anchoring 3 separate lines. It's just kind of a mess. And so, when it comes down to it, like, I don't think there's one spot that's better than another. But from an upside perspective, I think that you're right in that Buchnevich gets a major boost, but does it really impact like his, median? I don't know. Like maybe shot props wise, yes, but like losing Tarasenko is obviously a big deal, like offensively.
And they move him to minus 220 now for a point. And I know it's Anaheim, so it's super hard to be like, ooh, easy under, because it's Anaheim and they give up 4 game at least. So it's super hard to. That's why I'm just looking at the shot props here and I'm saying Kyrou, Buchnevich, moving on.
Yep.
I don't have much interest in anyone else. And
I think that's really fair. If you want
defensively,
if you want to sprinkle goals, like whatever, do it. Toropchenko's not like terrible. He's just this like not like one of these. He's not one of these like lower prospects that like we're like, oh yeah, he's going to be something. Like if he has decent rates,
I think he has a hard shot. Sure. That's the thing. Yeah, you're betting on a guy that isn't very good to find, like, again, like you said, like it's Robert Thomas.
You're betting. You're betting that they don't move him around. Like you're betting that they don't say, okay, Kyrou, you're going up with the top line for a few shifts. Like that's really like what you're betting on.
Oh man, minus 120 for Robert Thomas to get an assist. So okay, whatever. Really cheap on DraftKings this game overall. I pulled up utility, full game, 6,700 Terry, and then lower. There isn't a single forward until you get to Kyrou that's actually playing in this game for St. Louis. And again, it's against Anaheim. And again, this game is what their DraftKings is saying that the team total for the Blues is likely over 3.5. So there's likely 4 goals here for the St. Louis Blues team. With all that being said, is there a spot or 2 that you like? And is it Robert Thomas, Buchnevich? And I'm assuming you're more of a Krug at 4,400 guy, but are you a Justin Falk at 6,200 guy? I mean, we got to find out.
I mean, Falk has been productive. I don't think he's been that productive, though, to the point where that vote is warranted. I'm a little hesitant on Krug just because, like, he's a guy that I love at really, really low ownership. I don't know if this game is where the really, really part of that comes in. Like, if it's just low ownership, if it's 5-6%, then, like, I don't know. It doesn't feel great to tie up 4,400 in a defenseman that could get outscored by several dudes that are 3K or below. But Krug's upside is, really, really high for any defenseman, but especially for his price. So it's just a matter of trying to balance the risk versus the reward of, Krug kind of carrying you versus him absolutely destroying you. But yeah, that's really where I would start building from. I don't think I'm playing Kyrou at 5K. Because I don't know what a bull case for him looks like. Like, does it look like, like Braden Shen getting a ton of points? Does it look like the power play, popping off? I'm not really sure. I don't trust much about the St. Louis team. So,
who is going to take over that power play role of Tarasenko? Who's here?
Yeah, I mean it's probably Braden Shen, but like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess O'Reilly, right? Like, you throw Buchnevich on the right half wall, you throw Kyrou on the left, and there you have it.
Let's just, what? We have technology. Let me look if they said anything, or I don't think they were in a practice is the problem. So that might not be great for us to know for sure. Tarasenko out. Yeah. Power play 1. Falk, Shen, O'Reilly, Saad, Livo, Krug, Thomas.
Oh, okay.
Kyrou, it's Barbashev.
So it is Barbashev. Okay.
So
That's power play 1. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. He has them backwards. That's okay. We all make mistakes. I can take this off. I don't really need it here, but yeah. So not the best, but let me. Barbashev. I think he can kind of play hockey. He's sort of like Turchenko better.
Yeah,
he's not listed. Wonderful.
There's just I don't.
Oh, he is.
Anything here where
plus 390.
Really? I don't know.
Look, I'm just saying he is plus 390. I'm not saying you have to bet it. I'm just saying he's here. I didn't see that first.
Yeah.
Like Kairu's plus 330. Actually, what am I even doing? What?
Yeah.
Why is Kairu plus 330? Okay. I might just move forward with a shot prop, like I said. But plus 330 for Kairu seems kind of weird. I don't know. It's just whatever. All right, Matt. Kairu or Busnevich? 4 or 3? What do you think? Just pick one and let's keep it going.
Busnevich.
Yeah, I agree. We have him on puck luck as well, projected for like 3.25 now. Just because I'm guessing it doesn't think either Thomas or Turchenko is going to start shooting anytime soon. So it's like, where's it going to go? Okay. Tampa, Nashville. This is probably the game that I think is like has the easiest path to GPP goodness in DFS, and no one's going to play it. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like the easy focal point. And we just saw it with Nashville. Okay. I know we just saw, again, we talk, Roman Yossi is like one of those bomb-oms in Mario games where it's like, when like you accidentally like get too close and it just like turns red and blows up. And it's every once in a while, it's like 35, 44. And yeah, he's awesome. I get it. I struggled to play against Tampa, and I honestly kind of want to go the other way here. I just play Kucherov, and point, and probably not a defenseman, maybe Hagel. Like I really do like Kucherov in this matchup. I don't think they have much to hold against him, and he has been absolutely on fire. And if you think Nashville can hold this close, man, Kucherov is shooting not quite at not Jesus. He is shooting close-ish. Let me just pick out everyone. Let's put every single player in the mix. I believe he's number 1.
Top 1.
Top 1. I was going to say 3, but I'm like, man. Yeah, so like...
Sort it by expected fantasy points real quick. Yeah.
Okay.
Just wanted to see if Stamkos popped up there because he cooled off a little bit the last few games. But looking at 10 games, Stamkos looks insane too. So,
but no, Dylan Larkin right here.
Oh boy.
Okay, dude, he's shooting a ton. Like we can't deny an 8.2 shot attempts per game.
That's great.
But yeah, Kucherov. And again, like I know how regression works, and I know we're kind of buying in again at a peak. I know, but this peak for Kucherov is sustainable in my opinion, and I think Nashville is still bad. Like to average defense, I think this minus 120 is just totally bettable. Like
1,000%. A little surprised Stamkos isn't listed there. I
don't know what's up with that. I don't.
Yeah.
Actually, that's so strange. I'm going to take a peek.
Yeah, that's weird enough to be like, wait, do they know something?
We'll see after skate. Chernak and Bogo could return. I don't see anything about Stamkos yet.
Yeah, no, there's nothing there. So whatever.
What do they know that we don't know? I don't know. But the point I'm making again is that I think that you could easily afford this stack, this 3-man here. I don't know why. Because I pull up utility first so I can see everyone. But move Kucherov to wing probably. I think you could afford this. I don't even know if you need to play Hagel, but again, he's not been bad at all. Like 4,800 Hagel, and I don't think he's even the best in this range as like a one-off piece. So I don't think people are going to go there. You go to 4,800 in the whole slate. You got guys like Tippett. Let me just kind of go to that range so you see what I mean. I'm a visual learner myself. You got Kempe, who we haven't gotten to yet. You got Tippett, like I said. I feel like you have guys in this range that are going to get ownership. Raquel, right? Raquel's going to get some Busnevich a little bit cheaper. Going to definitely be a lot of that ownership. So too. And Kyrie just a bit above. So like I think you can play him because I think if anyone's getting left off in most stacks, it's him. Still first power play, unless if something drastically changed, and I can't imagine it did after they just pumped the Flames. So
nothing should be changing. Yeah.
I think this full line stack is just a really good first power play, full correlation stack that you should consider. And I think people are going to shy off it just because Nashville had the one blow up game the last.
I think personally,
good. No.
I think personally how I'm playing it, if I do, is just Kucherov, Stamkos, and maybe Sergachev. But I think Stamkos and Kucherov are underpriced relative to where they should be for this slate.
You could convince me to just take out Point and put in Stamkos and not care. Yeah. Oh, he's not a center. That does suck. Darn it.
Because Nick Paul is his center, who's been uber productive ever since I called him out earlier this week as being like a pretty good play. So yeah. I guess he had 0 last
time. Yeah, there's a couple.
Cares?
Yeah, but there's a couple ways you could go here. I would not hate the idea of playing Stamkos. I would not mind just fading defense and playing all 4. Like Point, Hagel, Kucherov. Like, I think that's how you get really unique with, like I'm saying, I think an incredibly good stack. The problem is you're not going to get a bring back probably. I don't think it's even really all that possible to get like a Forsberg, Yossi. Yeah, completely impossible.
Hey, you can one-off person like our guy Nerdy Tenor did to ship.
Yeah, well, he did it last time.
That he did. That he did.
Any thoughts on Nashville? I mean, you mentioned Parson.
No, it's Yossi thing.
Yeah, in DFS. And again, but Parsonen is like, look at the minutes haven't really been there. Production has really been there. And he's playing in a premium role. Let me pull it up really quick so you can see, because again, and by the way, it's hockeyviz.com. If there's any new people in here, if you don't know what this is everything I'm pulling up right now is free. I am a full subscriber to get early access and some more stuff, but everything I'm looking at right now is free on hockeyviz.com. I'm not showing any behind paywall stuff. If Nashville ever wants to load, new computer, what the heck? It's supposed to be super fast.
Is your Wi-Fi? No, your Wi-Fi is fine. I don't know.
It just doesn't like this. It does. I get it. Honestly, I don't like. Oh, there it comes.
There's too much offense in this game to show up.
Parsonen, Forsberg, Granlund, and Parsonen. I mean, like, it's whatever. This is the first power play at Holmes here. It just is what it is.
If you play Parsonen, you're playing Forsberg. I don't see a way around
100%. 100%. And I'm not doing that. So
right. Okay.
We're down to the last small handful of games.
The last 100 games. Here we go. God, I love the NHL.
I don't know. Oh, God, I know. Well, I guess while we're on this topic, do you think the Friday night thing, because I've been saying the Friday night thing is because of the NBA, because it's like Friday night NBA and ESPN?
No,
that has to be it, right?
I think this week, though, it's just every team plays Monday pretty much because it's a Monday, Wednesday week for Thanksgiving. And they weren't gonna make a team play Friday, Saturday, Monday, Wednesday if they could avoid it. So I think that's all that happened here. Okay. Usually it's Monday and Sundays are kind of weekdays. Like low event days. So like playing Fridays slightly more common, but yeah, I think it's just a scheduling thing there. I don't think it has to do with ESPN or anything like that. But
so
okay,
this game again. I've said this before. We've talked ad nauseum. This is, I believe, the lowest total on the slate,
which is just insane.
Minus 120, and it should. It should not be. The over might be
Islanders. The Islanders are one of the most high event teams in the NHL.
We've been saying this.
Yes, we've been saying.
For a while. I feel like this has been a joint venture. And all of the shot props, like there's a lot of good value. I did go with Marchment at plus 145 in my big parlay, which is a bit of a risk. I understand it's a bit of a risk. I like it. Oh, I don't want to go to St. Bonaventure website, which I haven't gone to in 6 years. I don't go. I don't even know why that's there. Hold on. The reason I went with Marchment is because plus 145 for 2.5 in a game that I think is going to be really high event. For a guy, 4 attempts per game, and I think on the season is a little bit higher, is to me a good value. He's a bit over 4 attempts per game, and I think this matchup I think it's gonna be high event for sure. I think Dallas has a chance to put up quite a few shots on goal. I think this plus 45 is a bit of a value. I think it's a little bit should be closer to a bit of a coin flip in my opinion. I think he's around a 5 to 10 per game type of guy in this sort of matchup. So that plus 145 felt pretty good. I get Robertson is just the focal point of this offense, but the 6 attempts on the season ish for over 3.5. As of late, he's been marginally better. Yeah, 6.6. Yeah, it just kind of feels a little tough to actually want to put money on. While on the Islanders side,
I will say that the offensive upside that has come for these for teams playing the Islanders and the Islanders themselves is not necessarily through the Corsi numbers, but through actual expected goals numbers. So that might push me slightly more toward point props than I would think otherwise. But I do think there are several shot props worth considering. But looking through these point props, I mean, like, Robertson at what was that? Was that a 1.5 plus 1? Okay.
No, it's -2.
For 1. I guess whatever.
Pavelski minus 145 is the best value because, like, I think. I mean, he just hasn't been getting the points, but regression does come for us all. And
honestly, though, my sense is just take the over in the game, like that.
Yeah.
The fact that it's a 6 and that 4-2 game gets you a push and anything else is just a bonus, like that feels kind of good to me. So whatever, player props, do whatever you want. If you have anything else to say there before we get the DFS stuff,
should be Varlamov as well. Not that it makes the monumental difference, but Pavelski, Hintz, Robertson, 5-on-5 power play. I don't see why Pavelski's price egregiously lower than both of them. He still has it, in my opinion. Marchment, like I said, I just like him as a rate shooter in general, but I get that it's a bit of a thinner play. Over, we'll keep in this slip and move forward. I want to do one parlay with everything. We just one in each game. So I think we're on track now, I believe. Maybe not. We'll figure it out. DFS, anything before we move on? I think we can make the case.
A lot of it. Dallas 1 is a little pricey. You're looking at.
I'm sorry. I was just thinking about doing. I just want to see what Noah Dobson's price was. He's shooting a ton.
Robertson's a bit expensive, but I mean, literally, Hintz, Pavelski, they're probably a bit too cheap. I don't think I'm playing Heiskanen or Dobson. Just considering the rest of the slate, I don't think it sets up great for either of those two. But if you look down the list, JG Pageau is 2,900, which is just insane. This dude's playing power play 1. He's technically the third line center, but he's almost kind of like a Bo Horvat, where he can have games where he doesn't produce much shot wise, but the looks that he's going to get are really solid. And for some reason, he's sub 3K, which I just don't understand. He's like far better than that in my opinion, so he's a great punt in a way to capture some upside at a center position without spending a ton of money. But in general, there's not a ton in this game that I'm like, no, you can't do that. But I just think that Pageau is like a really good option to save some salary and get some exposure to this game.
Okay, I agree with that. I mean,
I don't think Barzal is going to play 23 minutes to 15 every game. So it's just one of those things.
I think the higher event this game is too. The Noah Dobson over 2.5 does come into play. He's 8 attempts per game over the last 5. It's from the point. I don't know if the shots have gotten there quite as. I mean, he's actually hit most of them, just not the last game. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 in a row before. Yep. So you could probably even slip that one in. I like them all. I think Marchment is the riskiest, but I think just fine. And then probably Dobson too. And then what did we included the over though? Let's just go with the over and move on to Carolina and Minnesota. I did make this my best bet on the show I did this morning of Carolina money line minus 120. I believe it moved pretty decent. Not barely moved.
What so you're not a believer in Sam Steele top line?
I wouldn't even say it's that as much as I'm not a believer in Minnesota at this point. To me, it's just simply Carolina is incredibly good. They've lost a couple of games, like you said. They for whatever you want to say about that Colorado loss in overtime, they had like 50 shots on goal, and it just didn't happen. So I think this is a really, really good Carolina team that's fallen on unfortunate losses, and you could blame it on finishing ability in the course of the whole lineup. But to me, this Minnesota team, I think, has quite a few more holes that meet the eye. They don't seemingly play the best defensively. They're going 11-7 to maybe try to fix that and spread the wealth a bit more to a few guys like Goligoski. I don't think that's going to fix it against Carolina, who I think is going to dominate puck possession. They're going to dominate every matchup outside of Kaprizov. And this line is just, I don't get it. Like, I just don't know what, like, I guess Korchekov could be terrible tonight, but he's going against either Zach McIntyre or Philip Gustafsson. It's just it's a complete non-starter for me that Minnesota, like, it's hockey, anything can happen. Going to puck luck really quick, I believe it's also going to be their pick of the day. And yes, it is. So I didn't want to, I mentioned it to him. I was like, hey, like, what do you think of a few of these lines? And Jay was like, yes, Carolina, let's do Carolina. So I think it's probably the safest bet in this game, other than if you just want to go with like an Aho point, which to me at minus 185 is borderline fine to put in a parlay, but not great. So yeah, as you mentioned, Gaudreau comes off that first line. It goes to Sam Steele. I'm not that interested in betting Sam Steele to score, but what is it? I guess
no one should be.
No, 475. I guess if you like Torpachenko at 450, you're gonna love Sam Steele at 475.
At least Toropchenko's the guy who shoots. Sam Steele's just the guy who shoots. Right. He has a pretty long track record of just being a really, I think a good playmaker, but a playmaker nonetheless. So
could you be convinced to bet Kaprizov over 3.5?
Yeah, 100%. It's just the 11-7. Okay. I think means that.
Yes. Okay.
I think it's tough because I almost think that the 11-7 is better for the centers, obviously, because it's no Rossi, meaning Steele, Gaudreau, and Eriksson Ek are their only centers by trade. I don't think that really means much. Like, I think Kaprizov plays a ton regardless of the setup, but it is sort of one of those things where, like, is Freddie Gaudreau like a bad play? I don't think so. But I don't even know if we're getting a shot prop on him. So yeah, Kaprizov is fine, but
I'll take a peek.
It's just dangerous. Teams against Carolina, you said it. It's dangerous.
It's dangerous.
They can put the boots to anyone and hold them to 20 shots, and I wouldn't be surprised. So
to me, it's probably Kaprizov or bust if I'm betting anything on that side. Brent Burns, we could play Brent Burns roulette at minus 175, but I feel better about Carolina to just win this game. How do you feel about it before we move on with this in our slip?
I don't think I'm getting there from either side. Just so I don't know that I have like a money line take. Like Carolina's expected goal numbers are obviously like pretty solid, but it's a thing we've seen for years, and it's like, is that really going to amount to beating a team with Kaprizov, who frankly might have more talent than the entire sum of the finishing ability wise than the sum of the Carolina lineup. So it's just like one of those things where I'd be betting on goalies, which freaking Philip Gustafsson versus Peter Kochetkov. It's like
Kochetkov.
Is that fun? I don't know. Maybe for some people it is, but I don't really like prognosticating.
So what's your favorite?
Oh, this guy's gonna win.
What's your favorite bet? Did you have a favorite bet then?
I think it's Burns. Yeah, it's Burns.
So use
it's juiced.
Okay, that's fine.
Otherwise,
it's juiced but justifiable.
We didn't look
like Burns and
that closely, but like power play wise, I think you could get away with Freddie Gaudreau. But we don't know that he stays, and he's not even listed.
No, we don't know.
Whatever.
Nosen plus 350
just no.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, point props. It's kind of like they're all priced the same for Carolina, so I just kind of default Aho because like, what am I going to pay? Why pay the similar prices for other guys? In my opinion, when Aho is going to get the most runs, so to me, Aho, and they're about the same. I mean, Burns. Let's go with Burns. Move on.
Yeah,
it's a Matt DJ show. How can we not? We also, the one thing that we have doubles of is Larkin over 2.5 or Benstrom over 1.5. Almost the same odds. What do you want?
Are you actually asking me, or are you just going to keep Larkin?
So get rid of Larkin for Backstrom. I'm asking you. This is ours. This is ours. I don't care. I really don't care.
I mean,
you know what?
Of course I'm going Backstrom. Larkin's a bum.
Let's just on this. I want to look at the whole season for Backstrom really quick. I just want to see it. I just want to see a number so I can like actually put it in my head. So he needs 2 shots on goal again, right? Where is he?
He's averaging 5.
Oh my god. Wow.
He's only played 4 games though, so whatever. But he was over a point per game in the AHL. Like he was awesome.
Right. Okay. I'm fine with it. I'm not mad about it. Okay, so we're to Vegas and the Oilers. Yeah, Vegas at Edmonton. Okay. These games are always fun because you get to play the the fun time of this. Very expensive players and all that good fun stuff.
I'm so glad I fixed Alex Pietrangelo. It's not been expensive.
You did.
At all
it really was starting to feel like, and again, like I called it the one game I played it. I'm pretty sure it was the San Jose game. It was the only game I played it, which was okay. But yeah, he's back. It's nice. Good for him.
Stupid.
It's way too much money. Don't even. I played Theodore against Arizona, and I did not get there. So I thought I was doing extra cheeky at 5,500 Theodore. Nope. This game to me feels tough.
It is,
and I don't like this game, and I don't think I'm going to play it in DFS. But yeah, I mean, there's going to be shots aplenty, and I think the shots are going to come through probably Vegas a little bit more. I think they'll outshoot the Oilers as a whole. To me, it's Marchessault is probably your safest play in this game. But I mean,
the gulf between, I mean, that's worth considering at least. But the gulf between Marchessault and Riley Smith is just not large enough. So I think if you're not playing Jack, which certainly could, it's either it's Marchessault or Mark Stone. I don't think Smith is all that great a value anymore.
In DFS.
In shot props, looking through those numbers.
Okay. So Marchessault it is?
Yeah.
Or do you have any interest in a point prop? I mean, let's just pull them up. I mean, it's McDavid over 1.5 at -110 is the best I've seen in a long time. But
yeah, because turns out the Vegas is one of the best teams we've seen in a long time. They're really good, so I think that makes sense. That you would knock his point prop a bit.
Yeah, I think that's fair. So the moral of this exercise is either, so just Marchessault, right? Let's just move on.
Yeah.
Okay. Easy. So DFS.
Actually screw it. What's the Eichel point prop? Like, come on. Like Eichel's getting a point against McDavid.
Okay, -250.
Whatever. Mark Stone. Yeah, who cares? But any of those are fine. Point props are a little bit more of interest than shots. Just thinking through things and looking over some of the index numbers I have. The
total is 6.5, big -125 on that. So okay, we'll include the easy money here. I do think, and just that being said, this total being said, and I said this before on the podcast, is like taking a guy like McDavid at very low ownership is probably your best situation. He's had 2 bad games in a row. He's going against Vegas. I think it might scare off some people. It might not scare off
everyone.
What's his ownership look like? Especially when you consider Matthews is going to be
like 5%. Right. McDavid almost.
And McDavid is the best player in the world. I am going to consider it for sure, but we'll see. We will see what my lineup ends. I'm probably only gonna have a couple lineups, but one of them I think will have McDavid in it, just out of sheer this is the best player in the world. At 5%, you just do it. Other than that, I don't think I'm even gonna play much, if any, on the Vegas side. It's just kind of priced out of consideration for the top line, and I don't think I'm gonna try to play second line Vegas roulette when it got priced up a bit in this matchup, which I still think Edmonton's fine. So move on to LA, Seattle, probably my least favorite game on the slate.
Yeah, I mean, let's go there. I don't know how much I have to say about it.
I honestly have almost none. The only thing I'd say is it does feel pretty easy to just play one of these point props for the with the Kempe. I ended up going Velarde myself again because I love Payne at plus 110, just because that just feels
it's
solid for his role. I get that they kind of have 3 lines that can produce, but top power play, it's him or Kempe in my opinion.
I mean, my thing is, will any team produce here? I don't think so. Is this listed at a 6 or a 6.5?
I'm 99% sure it's a 6. Yeah, 6 even money.
Yeah, so like I would shade the under, but
yeah, whatever. It's a shade.
Both these teams are really low event, expected goal wise. Like LA can lay on the shots, but man, Seattle's a team that you said it last show, the turtle. It's just what's the game script look like, and they probably wind up turtling here. LA's on a back-to-back. It's just it's not a good situation for DFS or for betting overs, really.
No, yeah, it's, in my opinion, this is the game. If you are like just bet overs, fade this one. Don't have 14 or 13 leg parlays or whatever it would be. Just diminish one of them and go with something more fun. But I'll take Velarde here myself for the whole shebang. You could go Kempe shots. I know last game it was just easy 6 for him. I don't know if there's anyone else I'd even consider. And like you're saying, they might turtle, but if they turtle, LA will shoot still from anywhere. So I don't despise the idea of Kempe at minus 140, but I don't love it either. Yeah. This game should be lower event, like you're saying. And, Martin Jones should see 27.5. I think that's fair enough. So I'm fine just doing Kempe or Fiala for a point plus 1. Oh my God. Velarde for a point plus 110 and moving on.
Yeah. Okay.
DFS, anything to say before we just shift it? I'm probably good, but Kempe is 4,900.
I literally have nobody in this game that I would even touch. So
okay, final game of the entire night. Yeah. Also, not my favorite game, but I think that this game's a lot more interesting. It's just, what do you do? The Rangers have not played very well as of late. And
I was going to say,
with that being said.
Don't look now, but San Jose, based on the expected goals and lining that up, is actually a better matchup than the Rangers. Like the Rangers have just not been good, and San Jose's been sneaky good because Erik Karlsson's been transcendent. So it's very easy to sort of just show up with I think over for Timo or for Erik Karlsson and just sort of move on. I could see Zibanejad being like, having the sort of eruption spot, but I don't know how great I feel about like the consistency level of the Rangers. And I feel much safer with, Erik Karlsson at very little juice relative to his production this year. And, Timo, just even though it's 4.5, it's, he's been the guy to do that this year, even more so than Pastrnak, I believe.
Yeah, to me, it's 50-50, Kreider or Karlsson. I think they're both pretty likely to be hits. I went Kreider in mine, but we can go Karlsson in this one because you get a little. We went really safe with Eichel, so I'm totally fine with it. I think for a point, on the other hand, if you have to, gun to head.
LeBanc, baby. Take it to LeBanc.
Ooh, wow. That's enticing. What was, I'm trying to remember. Oh, yeah, just keep this. Keep this or go LeBanc. LeBanc with Timo and Hurdle. And he's just really good at hockey. Surprise, surprise. The guy that we were both saying, man, you should get this guy some run. They do. And look what happens. Although they lost because their defense is a train wreck. And that's why I like Kreider, because this defense is not good. This defense allowed how many goals? Again, this might be goaltending then. Who was in net? Reimer. And they're going back to him. We don't even know about Igor, but they're going back to Reimer.
Yeah, it's not great.
Is there something wrong with what's his name?
No, just goals.
Why? I just want to see. He's not starting. I just want to see his. He's
been just as bad.
So bad. Yeah. Wow. I had faith in Kakinen. Okay. Well, faith has been lost. So we did a parlay here. I'm going to get this bet and posted. I'm not going to do it right now.
The Rangers for Sharks pool. I don't know if
I don't want to go in a pool with Sharks. Oh my god! All right, well, we're not doing all this.
Yeah.
How much do you want to bet I lost that entire slip? Okay, no. Okay. Quick last note. DFS. Let's guarantee goal. Get my phone out so we can actually take a look.
Oh boy.
And then let's move on with our lives.
I was not prepared for this. Okay.
Oh well, no worries. How could you not be prepared? We went through every game in detail.
I don't know. I didn't know we were doing guarantee goals. That's all.
Wait, we still have time. Do we want to jam a prop from the first game? We didn't do one. Do you want to put Reinhardt in and make it a true 13 legs?
We saw lines actually. That looked weird.
Wait,
so
how is
I was going to check that after we were done. Let's see. Verhaeghe, Barkov, White, Luosterainen, Bennett, Kachuk, Lomberg, Lindell, Reinhardt. So Kachuk and Barkov are split up.
Wait, but we must be missing a game anyways, though, because there should be 13 legs. I don't think we have anything in the Blackhawks. We don't have anything in the Blackhawks game.
No, you didn't.
What did you yeah. You liked something, I think, right?
I think I like Pasternak more than anything. But
you want to go Pasternak over 4.5?
Bergeron. Actually, let's go Bergeron. I thought that was 165. That's minus 105 on Bergeron. Shots 3.5. I think that's good. Okay.
Okay. So now we have this. Do we want to add one here?
Sure. Let's jam. Ekblad shots. I think that's good. He's being fed on the power play.
Okay.
Or Foley. Yeah. No, I think Ekblad's the better.
Okay. I'll pull it back and then we'll do guaranteed goals. Let me see if I can even get this bet to freaking go on my computer. I bet it won't work. Although, no, I downloaded the thing. DraftKings. Please work. Okay. Guarantee me a goal if you can. Oh, location confirmed. Huge day at the office.
Nice.
So, okay. I know what you're thinking, Matt. Easy hit, 14 leg parlay. So, what? I'm going to $10 pays 35. 35,000, you put 10 on it, or you want to do 20 and split it?
All right, let's split it.
$20, 71K. I'm not round-robining any of this or any of that garbage.
Boo. Easy game. Okay, I will first guarantee goal, Owen Tippett. 4,300.
Okay,
I think that's just a really good price for the player.
Okay, so Tippett. Let me just grab his best odds. Tippett. Will it be a tip in? Is the best question we have.
It'll be an absolute howitzer.
You know what's funny is, yeah, this is true. So Owen Tippett. Good God, FanDuel. FanDuel's almost always better for goal props, by the way. In case you're wondering why I'm on my phone doing this. Plus 260 for Tippett. I do like that. So he is 4,300. What was I gonna do? Let me revert back in my brain to let's go J-Rob. Easy game. I could go like Pavelski or something different. Nah, I'm gonna go Kyrou.
Okay.
Kyrou 5K. Kyrou 5K. So I'm just chopping the prices really quick. So I got Kyrou and Tippett. Tippett is 310 on right around DraftKings. This is why we double check. Kyrou, goal scorer, plus 175 on the old king from Mr. Draft, as his father was called. You got another guy? Are you still thinking?
Yep. I'm gonna go Sid. Sidney Crosby keeps his hot play going. He fits perfectly salary-wise to that 11K mark that we try and use for guarantee goals. And just in general, I think this Pittsburgh side, their ownership's really low in DFS. I liked the Raquel point prop. I think, all roads lead to sort of that top line with Crosby, Gensel, Raquel, and Chris Letang sort of as well. All have sort of these interesting like point prop and DFS upside cases that I will be taking advantage of tonight while the field flocks to Winnipeg side.
So I leave myself 6K.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Rupe.
Yeah.
Rupe. Yeah.
He's good.
Let's go Rupe. He's really good. We love that game
Islanders. the Islanders on the what do they call it? The accelerator, whatever. What do they call the domes in football? The fast track? Is that what they say?
If you want them to, they can start saying that. Yeah. I'm just trying to see what this pays better at, because actually it's very back and forth on what prices are better. So $10 on FanDuel for this would pay $7.65. I think it's exactly the same. So,
nice.
Oh, 765.15 and 765.66. And that on FanDuel though, I think it doesn't include. So I think on FanDuel it is. Yeah, no, it is. No, yeah. I think that's right. Yeah, well, it's plus 7.656 and 7.651. It's 5 points off.
That's actually.
I'm gonna bet it on FanDuel. That is insanity. That is just 5 points. But you know what? Those 5 points, they mean a lot to me. Robin. Let's round robin this.
Round robin it in twos when my two hit.
I'm gonna do $3, and $10. How much is that gonna cost me? $40? Who cares? It's $40. Right. I literally bought Nintendo Switch Sports today for $40. Yeah. Now I spent $80. Anything else before we close this very, very long thing we just did?
It's good to see that your laptop's running smooth, and we'll talk, but I think we'll be back Monday for a pod rather than Tuesday, since there's only like one game on Tuesday. But we can align.
Yeah. I'm not doing anything, and I don't even have hockey this week because my game was supposed to be on Wednesday.
Do you have off Wednesday for work or no?
No, I get out early, so I don't know what I'm going to do yet, and I work Friday, and I'm going to be on the ice right after practice, right after work. So,
okay.
And then the Sabres game. Can't wait.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for doing this. I know you had a little free time yourself, so.
Yeah, I'm not snowed in, nice. But hey.
It was so like yesterday, I guess the last note, like in Buffalo, if you look at like where the lake ends, I'm like right there, like above it, kind of like right near the border, right near the Peace Bridge. And we got maybe 7 inches on Thursday, and compared to the 3 feet that I had, friends in the South towns. And then this morning I wake up and we have like 2 feet. So I just shut it down. I really thought I actually gave it a good thought. Like, should I consider? And I was like, go into the gym, and I just look outside and I'm like, it's not open. So
yeah. All right. Let's get out of here though. I'm gonna go eat a meal.
I'm gonna do some cleaning and then play Nintendo Switch Sports.
Hell yeah! What a day.
So yeah, we'll close this out. We'll be back on Monday, like you just said.
All right.
Peace.
Peace out.